Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hammered and Homers. I am your co-host, Jacob Pearl. Alongside me is your mom's favorite Little Leaguer, Portland Sea Dog, Hunter Malone. Hunter, how are we this fine evening?
Fantastic. Today is Patriots Day, regional holiday in New England. Baseball started at 11 a.m. I was very happy to see the boys the entire day through my work day, made everything go faster, made a Monday great, and I actually was really productive at work today, which was kind of crazy considering I just watched baseball as well. Everything's good. Jacob, how are you today?
Life's good. Grinding some NFL mock drafts, getting ready for the draft on Thursday, breaking down guys, watching some tape, watching two hockey playoff games at the moment, and Royals-Orioles at the moment. So without further ado, per the usual, let's get cracking. Got a blue moon today for the people in the 2005 final season of Busch Stadium. Give me un momento.
Derek White, glass, very fine. Our city, our beer.
Spilt a little on the pour.
Huh?
I said I spilt a little bit on the pour.
No. Party foul.
No,
Hammer
no,
the beer.
indeed. I got a lot of foam brewing. I got to let it come down and settle.
Was this amateur hour? What are we doing, Jacob?
Technically, when you pour beer, you're supposed to have foam, so it oxygenates and carbonates.
We're 7 episodes in, 8 episodes. We've done this 9 times, almost.
I'll cheers you now, but I still got to pour the rest of it. Like,
This is episode
like,
30.
like holy
We don't know how
foam,
to pour
brother.
beer. What are we doing? That is horrible.
I don't know what to tell you. It's how it's.
We're
It's how
60 episodes in.
we're not 60
don't know.
episodes in. We're not 60 episodes in.
This is episode 99.
All right,
And we don't know
here
how
we
to
go.
pour
Cheers.
beer.
I do know how to pour a beer. I like to pour a beer my way. Okay. Without further ado and harassment, always, of course, Hammered and Homers is sponsored by Florida Avenue Brewing, home of your My Boy Blue. Per the usual, crack yourself a good My Boy Blue and get yours where they sell, 6-packs. Without further ado here, Hunter, tell me about a guy I forgot about.
I almost forgot about this guy. And then I cracked open, I got a little baseball binder full of baseball cards. And what I started doing is my new favorite thing is I kind of just flip to a page until I get one that feels right. And I went deep in my bag. I made it a T's because they're alphabetical order. So I was weird when I did it. Former Ranger, Sue Chu. Fielder. He had a 34.7 career WAR. He was a one-time All-Star, which I honestly felt like he was more. Like I was shocked when I saw just one time because he had such a good career with the Indians and with the Rangers. Like he was there forever. 7 years apiece. Two-time Player of the Month, both in September. So I thought that was weird. The former Mariner, which I learned today as well. Indian, Ranger, and Red had a 15-year career and has to be a bona fide shoo-in for the Hall of Good inductee. If not already a Hall of Good inductee. Did not fact check myself on that.
Very good pick. Rangers legend. That's for sure. My guy, he's a little bit more of a legend, I would say. Probably early, like mid-2010s was really when people really knew this name. But I feel like he doesn't get enough shine sometimes, and I'm bringing him back. Robinson Cano, the Mariner, Yankee, believe he was a Met even for a little
It
bit.
was a Matt. Yeah.
He also was a Padre and a Brave in his last
Latter half of the last season.
Incredible career. 335 home runs, 301 batting average, over 1,000 RBIs, 1,300 actually to be exact. His best season, man, he just in consistency. You can argue 2016, best season, hitting 39 home runs, batting 298. Added 320 one year for the Yankees. He had 5 consecutive All-Stars, 8 All-Star appearances. This guy's 100% in the Hall of Very Good. That is a Mr. Cano. Mr. Robinson Cano. Maybe someone's chirping me in the comments being like, that's not niche enough. And I'm like, that's fine. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's okay for me.
I don't know. I might be with him. Not a deep bag pull, but a bag pull nonetheless.
And it's some days you're going to have a deep bag pull. And today's not one of them. That's okay. All right? We don't always bring our best stuff for every start, Look at Garrett Crochet, right?
Did not need that stray. Unwarranted.
Speaking of Crochet, let's talk about our Hammered players of the week. For me, it is not Garrett Crochet. It is a Mr. Jesus Luzardo. 5 innings pitched, 12 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned runs, hammered. Literally taking yard all over the place. Batting practice, light work against the Cubbies of all people who aren't swinging the bat great. You give up 9 runs, 8 earned. His starts haven't been great. You're looking at 6 runs, 1 run, 5 runs, 8 runs. And these are earned runs. So if you're Jesus Luzardo, you're hammered, buddy. Hammered. Hunter, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength, only except I didn't go with a starter, I went with a reliever. It's different when a reliever just gets hammered. I mean, Devin Williams, Yankee fans will tell you he was hammered all last season because he was god-awful for them. He goes to the other side of New York, blows a save, gives up 4 earned runs, gets just 1 out. He's got a 7.11 ERA, and no, that's not just a convenience store. That is his ERA, and on top of it, the Mets just can't buy a game. 11-game losing streak. We'll get onto that later.
Homered player of the week for me. This one is a little bit of a no-brainer. Mike Trout, series against the Yankees. He hit 5 home runs, 9 RBIs. I think one of the best series in a long time for a player, like in terms of its totality. Unbelievable stuff from Trout. Still proven that he's one of the best. He's having not a breakout, but comeback year a little bit from his numbers from last season being down to what we normally expect Mike Trout to be at. But 5 home runs for an Angels team that is surprisingly quite frisky.
I'm going to raise you a Mike Trout to a Jose Ramirez. Jose went 364 batting average. This past 7 games, he had a 533 OBP, hammering 4 times, 5 RBIs, had 5 bags, scored 9 runs, and had a 955 slugging percentage. And on top of it, the 1488 on base plus slugging is just insane. I mean, both of them went mash for mash. Trout going homer for homer with Judge was one of the better games I've seen. I mean, just seeing them go back and forth was awesome. But I think Jose Ramirez just doesn't get the love that he deserves, and that's been a known thing. He's one of the greatest players to play. He just doesn't get the love, so I'm going to give him the love. J Ram, this is for you.
Honorable mentions, because there was a lot of guys who had great weeks last week. Obviously, Aaron Judge had 4 home runs in the same series, but unfortunately get outshone, buddy. Parker Messick, Guardians, had a no-hitter going into the 9th until Tavares of the Orioles hit a leadoff single to end his bid going into the 9th. He went 8 innings, 9 strikeouts, 112 pitches. Proved a 3-0 on the year, 1.05 ERA. Pretty legit from Parker Messick there. Dalton Rushing also kind of crushing the baseball right now as well.
Yeah, I think an honorable mention for me would have to be Aaron Judge. I mean, also 5 home runs, 7 RBIs, stole a bag, 6 runs, batting 259. Doesn't quite get the nod like Trout or J-Ram because the batting average is low, but going homer for homer is insane. And just another deep bag pull is Jeremiah Jackson from Baltimore. I mean, dude had 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, a stolen base. He was hitting 346. Batting, I mean, on base percentage is 370. I'd like to see that up, especially because it's so close to the average. But dude was hitting the ball. He wasn't taking any walks or getting on base any other way. But I think coming in, considering Jackson Holiday has been out for all season, the way he stepped up and then exploded this past week, that's an honorable mention for sure.
Without further ado here, let's dive into the meat and bones of some hot topics kind of going on in the last week or so. I think the biggest conversation point, and we're going to start the campaign, is the Mason Miller Cy Young campaign. Hunter, let me just read you these stats, right? 0 ERA, 0.00. He's got 8 saves. He's got 27 strikeouts, 0.35 whip.
What?
Right? Only 1 total hit.
What?
1 walk. He's faced 30 batters. Only 2 of them have reached base.
What?
Batting average against, 0.034. 77% strikeout rate. You want some advanced metrics, Hunter? I know you love some advanced metrics.
Love advanced metrics.
His XUOBA. Don't know what it is, but thank you, Claude.
I'll give you $100 if you can explain to me what that is.
8.4. His hard hit rate, is 37.5%. His average fastball velocity, four seamer, is 101 miles per hour. His slider whiff rate is at 79.3%. Zone contact rate is 51.6% in parentheses from cloud. Hitters barely making contact in the zone. Chase contact rate is 25.8%, almost no contact on pitches out of the zone. And his ERA plus, Hunter, the league average is 100. 150 is like you're having a great year. His ERA plus is 780 since joining the Padres. He would be the first reliever since who, Hunter, to win the Cy Young? Name me that guy.
Shit.
Should have saved that for the hammered questions. I would have got you on that one.
I feel like it was a former starter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Not Goose Gossage.
More recent than you think.
Who was a starter that went reliever? Oh, mid 2000s?
Yeah.
Not Heath Bell.
Same division. Think about it. You're so close. This is great podcasting. The silence that our fans hear.
Yeah, drawing a blank. Yeah, no, pass.
Eric Gagne.
Fuck. And he was a Red Sox too.
Eric Gagne, the year he won the Cy Young, these stats are actually absurd. Ready? He had a 120 ERA. GF. I don't know what that is. 55 saves. 82 innings pitched. Only had 37 hits.
Games finished.
67. 12 total runs given up the entire year. 11 of them earned. He only gave up 2 home runs, only had 20 walks, and had 137 strikeouts. His ERA plus was 337 in 2003, the year he won the Cy Young. And he was 6th in MVP voting that year. So, Hunter, with all those numbers that I just gave for you for Mason Miller, this guy is on a tear we have never seen before in terms of we were technically alive for Gagne, but we don't remember Gagne. So
being asked for the Red Sox.
Yeah. But what Mason Miller is doing is absurd, especially in today's age of baseball where you have all the metrics, you have all the guys who can hit the ball and find ways to make contact and put the ball in play. And the Padres last season did a blockbuster trade to go get him and gave up one of their best prospects, Leo DeVries, correct? Yep, gave him up. But you got, 6 years of Mason Miller now? You want to go compete with the Dodgers? You're going to need one of the best closers in baseball. He's not maybe the best closer in baseball currently. He might be the best closer in baseball history in terms of a single season. So the numbers are absurd. Talk to me about what you're seeing with him, because we knew in the World Baseball Classic he was unstoppable. He's been unstoppable this year, but is it too early to say Cy Young campaign to kick it off, or is it time to beat the drum, get in front of the parade, and lead the charge down the street?
I think anytime you start talking about that kind of award already, it's too early. But what helps this is the fact that Tarek Skubal is not setting the world on fire immediately. Garrett Crochet is getting shelled in back-to-back starts. The guys that we thought were gonna lead the front of this, like Paul Skeens, opening day didn't make it out of the first inning. All that gets weighted behind, whereas Mason Miller hasn't given up a run. We're seeing him with a negative FIP, a 21.4 K per nine. This is stuff that we haven't seen ever. We've only seen a 20 strikeout game, and that happens once a blue moon, no pun intended for what you're drinking over there. But we haven't seen any of this. So what Mason Miller is doing, no one's ever done it. We like to talk about Shohei and the fact that he's a two-way and he's doing all this, and we haven't seen it since Babe Ruth, which none of us have seen Babe Ruth play. No one has ever seen the type of run, the type of tear that Mason Miller is on. It just doesn't exist unless you're playing Road to the Show. So you asked me, is it too early? I think it's perfect timing. I think it's a good time to start because no one can tell you you're wrong. No one's got better numbers than him. No one's doing better. And
He's incredible.
Yeah, the trade that they pulled off where they gave up, and I'm speaking for the Padres, they gave up those top prospects. I think 4 top prospects. The return investment looks amazing already. I don't even care what they did. If Mason Miller has this for a full season, you take that and you're fine. If they win a World Series with Mason Miller, they do not care how good. All four of them could be Hall of Famers. I don't care. We won a World Series with Mason Miller. Like we made that
Yeah.
trade happen for that. It'll be fine.
The Mason Miller trade is Mason Miller. This is going to be a trivia question one day, like 5 years down the line. Might be a trivia question now. Who's the other guy involved in the Mason Miller trade? Starting
Like
pitcher from the
JP
Athletics.
Sears.
JP Sears and the Athletics got Leo DeVries, Braden Nett, Henry Baez, and Edronio Nunez. Definitely didn't pronounce Ed's name there, but unbelievable trade. DeVries was the number 3 overall MLB pipeline prospect, the number 1 prospect in the Athletics pool. And I think if you're the Padres and if you're the Athletics, you kind of want, both teams have won, honestly. Obviously, you can look at the Padres and be like, they got the way better end of the deal, but like,
You just don't know yet.
you don't know yet with the Athletics that DeVries doesn't turn into this monster in about 3-5 years.
Could have another James Shields to Tatis situation.
Yeah, so since then, Mason Miller has been on a tear. The only guy in the NL that's been a preseason favorite that can kind of have an argument is Christopher Sanchez. He's had 5 starts, 3 quality starts, and currently holds a 1.59 ERA with 2 wins, 2 losses on the year. Yamamoto's at a 210, Scooble's at 208, and there's some other guys who I expect to come back down to earth and not be this high up right now. Like Bryce Elder has a .77 ERA. I don't expect that dude to be up there very long. So when you look at it, it's just like, I want to start it now and have the conversation brewing, because if he's already at 8 saves, and we're not even through April, right? And if he continues on this path, and the Padres make this push, there's a world where he eclipses the 55 that Gagne has. You know, I don't know if Gagne's 50. I don't know if Gagne's 55 is a all-time record, but
A-Rod beat it when in 2005. I think it's 62 or 63.
yeah, 62 by him. Diaz had 57 one year.
Mm-hmm.
That was his breakout year in 20. Oh no, that was in Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle, he had 57. He had 57 saves. He had only gave up 17 runs, 16 earned, 124 strikeouts, 41 hits, and he had a 1.96 ERA. Now,
That's what got him paid.
yeah, it's got him paid the big bucks. He's been in the Cy Young conversation before, right? He finished 8th in the Cy Young that year when he was with Seattle, and then his breakout year with the Mets, he was 9th, and he had 32 saves. I genuinely think you can talk about Mason Miller potentially breaking that save record. With what the Padres want to do in the current track, it's such a long season. He's going to have nearly a third of the saves that is needed for the team, but don't put it out of the realm of possibility either. Like, it's early, he's shoving. Granted, you know, the longer he continues to have that 0, the better his ERA looks. The strikeout, the overall metrics are overwhelmingly great. That ERA plus for Diaz that year that he had 57 saves, he had a 208 ERA plus. I think that's where the advanced metrics lean in favor of Miller right now. But obviously, it's still so early. We got to see some of these guys get 10 starts by July, some double-digit starts, and then we'll probably revisit. But right now, it's hard-pressed not to be like, Mason Miller might do something special, something very, very special.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about somebody who's doing so well. Let's just talk about somebody who is doing the complete opposite. That's the New York Mets. What is wrong with them? Are they broken? The Mets are currently on a 11-game losing streak,
Yep.
and it's bad. They have one of the highest payrolls in baseball, but yet the offense is just completely missing. And I don't know if Frank the Tank can handle it. We see him on Barstool just losing it. I mean, it's bad. It's Lindor hasn't been good. Soto hasn't been amazing. You pay them all this money. We've got closers blowing saves, Weavers blowing, or not blowing saves, but costing games. It's top to bottom. It's just bad. If somebody is doing well, another side just like if pitching does well, hitting's not happening. Hitters score a couple runs, pitchers are like, watch us give up more. It is bad right now. Jacob, what do you what do you see?
I kind of felt like this with the Mets of like I don't know if I did it in our preseason preview, but I was very hesitant to give them the NL East. Like I had a major question marks about the pitching. Bo Bichette has looked not what the value of that contract looks like. Juan Soto is injured. He's out with I think a right calf strain right now. The offense in the last 11 games have been hitting with 219 with runners in scoring position. Second fewest RBIs in those situations. 9 of 11 losses have come when the offense has scored 2 or fewer runs. Again, Chet, a 538 OPS. Lindor, a 600 OPS. Simeon, a 606 OPS, which I knew Simeon was not going to be great for them, but you don't get Simeon for the bat anymore. You grab him for that elite fielding. Santos is 616 and Polanco is 532 in the OPS. The pitching has a 625 ERA during the streak. The only two guys who have been decent is Nolan McLean and Clay Holmes. Carson Bench, 3 of 34 during this 11-game streak. Listen, it's early in the year. There's no reason to freak out truly yet. But the writing is on the wall for what it looks like going to be a struggle for the Mets. And the Mets traded for Freddie Peralta, and Peralta's not living up to what they traded for either, right? So I think when it's the New York media, pressure gets hard. It's going to be loud. They're going to get booed when they go back home. Like their home game, I think, tonight or tomorrow, they're going to get booed out of the building, especially if they lose. So to me, what I'm seeing is the hitting is bad. Really, really bad. I knew hitting was going to be a problem. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a problem. I definitely want to sit back and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Bo Bichette's not who we think he is right now. Let's slow it down a little bit. Obviously, you got Luis Roberts. I saw on Twitter somewhere that it's you got the Mets are like a social experiment of if we take all these dudes who on these other teams were individually great and put them on a team, what do you think's going to happen, you know? And it's Juan Soto, the leader of the team, is phenomenal. But then you have Bo Bichette, who is the guy in Toronto a little bit, right? Luis Roberts was the guy in Chicago with the White Sox. Simeon was a major player in the Rangers. He was the part of that major infield move with Seager. So I think you have some question marks. The rookie experiment, Carson Bench, is not working out the way you want it to. You're kind of just in a dog pattern, but it's baseball. You'll get out of it. You'll get some streaky wins going. But the question is, for me, is this indicative of what's to come in May, in June, when we hit the dog days of Nolan McLean's going to be amazing. Clay Holmes, I expect Clay Holmes to come back down to earth a little bit in those days, but it's encumbered some. It's not great for the Mets right now, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked they're kind of been this bad. I didn't expect them to be this bad. Like the Marlins and Nationals are doing better than the Mets right now. That's saying a lot. Because the
Yeah, it
Nationals
kind of
are Miles
reminds me of
Michaelis, brother.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of the early Dodgers in 2011 when they first got I think
Gonzalez.
the ownership took over the GM and he was like, I got Matt Kemp. I want Andre Ethier. You know who else I want? Let's go get Carl Crawford. Let's go get Josh Beckett and Adrian Gonzalez. And let's get all these big names and put them together. And they didn't win. They had to come together and get pieces that fit that mold. Like the Dodgers have been a super team 15 years. They're just now winning. So it's kind of like the Mets are doing the same thing. We're gonna get all these big names and just put them together and see who sticks, what meshes, what gels, and it takes time. I mean, Bo Bichette's brand new to the position. You know that's gonna affect the offensive side because he's so focused on defense. He's so focused on playing third. You've got Simeon who wants to prove something, but is old. He's winding down. You traded Jeff McNeil, who had a huge standing ovation when he came back to Queens. So losing a guy like that hurts. That's not necessarily a big bat, but that is a big voice. It's a leader in your clubhouse. Juan Soto is not a leader. I think everyone is now airing out that Francisco Lindor is just not a leader. They're just not. They're, yeah, big names, guys that you love as a fan, but in that clubhouse, they're not the ones to take the rookies under their wings and be like, I got you. They're not taking nobody out to go get dinner. They're not taking the rookies out to go get you a suit. They're just not doing any of that. That's like an Alex Bregman type guy. That's people like that is who you want. They don't have any of that. It's a bunch of individuals playing a team game, and I think that's the most spot on take that you've had on this show.
First off, what a backhanded comment that is. It's the most spot on take you've had on this show. I'm gonna fucking hammer you into the fucking moon, buddy. Fucking asshole.
Is there a better take? Am I wrong?
As of right now, it's the most accurate take, yeah. But I got good takes. I got a lot of
I
takes
didn't
right
say
now
you
that,
didn't. You worded it better than I could have. That's why I said that.
yeah, credit to that dude on Twitter that I saw it from.
It's not even your original quote. That's crazy.
No, I literally, I said on here, I was like, I saw this on Twitter, and it was a social experiment, a thought provoking thesis. I just think when you look, I just think with the Mets, like, you got to ride through the bad. I think there's brighter days ahead. You know, I looked on here, like, last year, the Guardians lost 10 straight in June and then won the AL Central. So, like, you could put things together. The Dodgers lost 11 straight in September, went on and went to Game 7 of the World Series. Huh?
They won the World Series. Oh, I thought you were referring to last year. I was like,
2017. Um, I just think with the Mets, there's brighter days ahead. It's hard right now, but I think Peralta's going to find his footing. You also got to think some of these guys came from terrible teams where the market did not care. Like Peralta could live a nice, happy life in Milwaukee, good or bad days. Luis Roberts played for the White Sox. He didn't matter what you did, no one cared because you were on the White Sox. And in Toronto, there was Vlad Guerrero. In Toronto, obviously, like the media is bad up in Toronto, but they're more harsh on the Maple Leafs than any other franchise. So now you come to New York and you face New York media every day. It's a little bit of a mindset shift you also got to get through when you go to the ballpark every day, too. Not saying that plays a major factor, but subconsciously it could. But let's go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I agree with everything you were gonna say, and then I was gonna shift to a more serious note. In baseball, we lost not we lost a legend. I mean, this we lost Garrett Anderson passing. He was a key part of the 2002 Angels title team, one of the most underrated hitters of his era. He wasn't always the loudest names, but if you follow baseball, you knew how good he was. He played for a very long time, almost all with the Angels. He did, and he finished his career in 2009 with the Braves, and then his final season with the Dodgers. But he played I think, 17 years. So, three-time All-Star. I mean, he's free if you play MLB The Show right now. You just grind that conquest very easy, but he's a guy that keeps popping up for them, and very sad to see, a baseball community leave or lose a legend like that.
Yeah, it's always sad when you lose a guy in the baseball community. You said it pretty perfect.
Yeah. And now we'll pivot to. I don't want to pivot to losing, but teams are losing these guys. I mean, we are seeing a little streak of injuries this week. The number one being Corbin. I mean, Diamond fans held their breath this week because he avoided a major injury. He left the game with back tightness. He's gonna be on the IL for a little bit, but it's brutal because they are out in the West facing. They're trying to keep up with the Dodgers and the Padres and try and keep a hold of a wild card spot, if not take the division. And without Corbin Carroll, like it's just not gonna
It's
happen.
hard.
That's the heart and soul of your team. That is him and well, Kentel Marte too, but Corbin Carroll makes the offense go. What he brings, you can't just simply replace, and it's brutal. We also saw today Edwin Diaz. He's going to be done for the next 3 months. He's going to have an elbow procedure to remove loose bodies in his throwing arm. So he's going to have surgery, get all that removed. We see quite a few guys. Hunter Green just had that before opening day. So that's more of a procedure we're seeing more and more. I haven't seen that pop up. I wonder if that's because everyone's doing a new mechanical issue. We're now seeing more wear and tear on the arm. If that could be it, that's not a thing you had in the 90s. So I'm interested to see kind of what the science is behind that. Sonny Gray today left in about the third inning with a hamstring issue. He's already been put on the 15-day. And then Jonathan India on the IL with a shoulder subluxation.
You got it, Dr. Malone. You got it.
Yeah, that injury I've never heard of before. I am not familiar with what that is. I texted Evan, or he's an ER nurse, but he is working, so that means not great things if he can't text me back on what that is. But Jacob, between Corbin Carroll, Edwin Diaz, Sonny Gray, and Jonathan India, which one has the biggest impact, I think, for their team?
I agree with you that I think it's Corbin Carroll. I think Sonny Gray going down for the Red Sox hurts a little bit just because like you're already struggling. But the AL East isn't like there hasn't been this gap major yet. So I'm not quite worried there. The Red Sox have also kind of gotten back on track since the slow start a smidge. But the Diamondbacks, I'm not going to say every game matters, but it's like you can't afford for your best guy to be out for over a month, you know? Like those are 30 plus games. That's, you know, at least a sixth of a season. Maybe the math is wrong there, but like you're losing him. You're losing him to a decent amount of injuries. That's not fun there. And I think for Corbin Carroll, he's like the Diamondbacks have already lost a ton of guys. Like Lawler is on the 60-day. Carlos Santana was down. Gabriel Moreno just went down. And he's working his way back. Pavin Smith underwent surgery to remove bone chips. And then obviously AJ Puck has been there too. But this roster just isn't built to sustain a ton of injuries. They already got, like, literally I just pulled up depth chart and half these things all have IL 60 or IL 10 on them. Like, they are so banged up. Luckily, the pitching staff isn't in major disarray. So, like, as long as the pitching staff remains relatively intact, they should be fine. You're seeing some really good pitching from Eduardo Rodriguez and Michael Soroka. So, like, if they can continue and Corbin Carroll can get back within the next 2 weeks, like, you're not completely out of the wild card race. Obviously, it's so early to talk about that. Anything can happen. But it's like for a guy like Corbin Carroll, if he goes down, your outfield is Gurriel, Thomas, and Barossa. And also the defensive aspect and the speed that Corbin Carroll can offer you on the base paths and defensively, like you have such a safety net out in the outfield. You have a guy that's going to be a 30, like it's so much different when you have Carroll in the lineup strategically. That I think it matters a little bit more for a guy like Carroll versus like India. I think the Royals can survive without India. They got plenty of Swiss Army knives to play second. Now, if Bobby Witt went down for the Royals, you're cooked, buddy. You're very cooked. Like, I think Corbin's on that level of like a Bobby Witt, where if Corbin goes down, you might need to throw away your season almost in terms of franchise player going down.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, that I feel like out of the four, the least concerning one is Edwin Diaz, and that's just because of the team that he's on. I
Yeah.
think if he was back with the Mets, we'd be like, okay, kind of a good thing they signed Evan Williams. We thought it was weird they had them both, but to each their own. Sonny Gray being the number two for the Red Sox definitely hurts. It's an innings eater. I was thinking there was something more to it than just a hamstring because his swing and whiffs have been down. I mean, last year they were at or 2 years ago, they were at like a 30% swing and whiff rate. He went down to like 26, 27%. And this year he's up to 9% swing and whiff. Just a very drastic drop from a pitcher who spins the ball so well. So I didn't expect it to be a hamstring injury when he went down. I was thinking maybe more back, and that could explain the rotation. But I feel like the hamstring issue happened just today. We watched it on the mound. He kind of grabbed at it, tried to stretch it with his back. It looked weird, but it doesn't. His stats were off. Everything was off. So I felt like there was more to it than just that. But
Yeah.
we'll switch over. Did you see the umpire in Philadelphia? Short
Not.
story. One of the wildest off the field stories I saw. An umpire was attacked in Philadelphia after the game. He is thankfully okay, but it's like, dude, that's a guy going to his job. Like he's human too. We always talk about players and how like if you're gonna chirp, don't be surprised if they give it back to you. Don't act surprised, and damn sure don't act like a fucking. So when you deal with something like this, where you go and attack an umpire after I mean that's disgusting. You don't put your hands on somebody first off. This is not something you do. This is a guy that just went to his job and yeah, he had a bad day. We all have bad days. You ever work on a Friday? Nobody does that. Nobody actually works on a Friday. This guy's got to work every day of the week and you're sitting here hammered yelling at him. Like, come on now. Do your job when you have 60,000 people staring at you yelling awful things. Let's see how well you perform. So, with that, give umpires some leeway, especially nowadays with ABS. Like, they get called out all the time. There's got to be some leeway for those guys, especially at the top of their profession. I mean, we look at big leaguers the same way. These are big league umpires. You should respect them the same.
Completely agree. You can't say what you want about a guy, but if he's going to do his job, just leave it alone. Just come on. Let's be smart. Let's move into. You have Ohtani isn't human on here. You want to talk a little bit about why you typed that? Because that's not earth-shattering news, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, it's kind of another like he's pretty much a unicorn, bro. Like 30 plus innings and he finally gave up an earned run. I mean, this is insane. It's one of the more like he's one of the most unique players in sports history and I don't even think it's it's not even close anymore. We've never seen somebody do what he does. And honestly, it's kind of annoying how much the MLB posts about him. Like we saw in the offseason, they posted more about Shohei's dog than the Colorado Rockies. So, in order for me to put Shohei on here, other than like we're on what episode 7 or 8, this is like the first time we're really talking about Shohei doing something. There's a reason because I'm tired of it. But the fact that you go 30 innings without giving an unearned or giving up an earned run is like a stretch that is insane. This is over multiple starts plus relief appearances coming off of an injury. Like it's just it's something I needed to touch upon. Like it's an insane stat, and I think he's gonna be it's another MVP here for him. I mean, I just turned over and this guy's on second already. We're in the third inning. Like he stole a base earlier. I saw it. This guy's everywhere on my TV. But enough of talking about the Dodgers and big markets. Let's switch over to little markets, small markets with maybe big problems or not necessarily big problems, but just
Big
swinging
pro-
big sticks.
They're
The
big problems
Milwaukee
for the
Brewers.
league right now.
Yeah, these little markets, and especially the NL Central. The NL Central as a whole, but I'm going to target the Brewers first. They just keep winning. And the elite run differential that they've had, I mean, they're outperforming big spenders and they don't care. We don't need Freddie Peralta. We've got another dude from the farm. Like, we've got these arms that just grow on trees. We don't need Caleb Durbin. We'll ship him to the Red Sox and we're still gonna win. And it's not like they lost. Like you lost your ace and your starting third baseman, third and rookie of the year contender, and we're just gonna keep going. And Milwaukee's won what 4 or 5 NL Central titles in a row. Like we we bitch about the Dodgers. The Brewers are doing the same thing, and the
I,
Central was been the most consistent out of all of them.
and it's incredible what the small markets are doing. Like they've all taken a vastly different approach to what the Dodgers are doing. The Dodgers have FU money. They're going to do whatever they want. But when you're the Reds, Cardinals, Pirates, and even the Brewers, because the Cubs are a big market team, like the four of those teams in the NL Central have to play baseball differently. And the Reds are 15-8 on top of the NL Central. The Cardinals, a surprising 13-9 right now at the time of recording. A game and a half back of the Reds, tied with the Pirates, your NL Central pick, who is looking amazing. Everything is coming to fruition. The Cardinals, I texted you this. I'm like, they're the best defensive team in baseball. I think it said like Wynn and Weatherholt are like third and fifth in outs above average right now in terms of a middle infield pair. Like, they're playing way above their weight class. You look at the NL East. Granted, the Marlins are technically below 500, but like they're 11-2, sitting second in the NL East. The Nationals are sitting third in the NL East, right? We go up to the West, and you got the Athletics tied for first, and the Angels. Granted, LA is a big market, but everyone knows like the Angels are the redheaded sister. Sorry, Hunter. And
Redheaded stepchild is the phrase.
either way, I'm still apologizing for you. Anyways, and then you look at the Tampa Bay Rays, who are 12-10, sitting in second. And then obviously the NL Central is all mid market, so like not much to really talk about there. But like these teams are bigger problems than I think people realize in the NL Central, every team in the NL Central is above 500 right now. The Cardinals just swept the Astros. Like, the Reds have been phenomenal. The Brewers have been solid, but they're at the bottom of the NL Central because the division's so damn good. Would you consider Atlanta small market, mid market? I want to consider them a large market.
I mean, they have all of like Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. Like they have such a huge region that like if I think about it like the blackouts. Like if you live in Tennessee, the Braves are blacked out for you. Like that's their whole market. They have a huge market that I wouldn't necessarily call them. I wouldn't ever call them small, but they don't.
Well, if you're going off that logic, the Cardinals have like the biggest radius of all time,
Yeah,
buddy.
they're a Midwest team. Like the Cardinals shouldn't be non-buyers.
Like the Cardinals have Arkansas and Oklahoma, part of lower half of Illinois, Memphis. They even take over Kansas City because we do.
Yeah.
Iowa, we got Iowa.
Kansas City's like the stepchild of that market. Like they're the lower market because everyone grew up a Cardinals fan around that area. That's just what it was. You grew up going to games, and if you live in Iowa, you're probably a Cubs fan because of the Iowa Cubs. So, or
90.
you're just a Cardinals fan. So, I mean, I don't consider St. Louis a small market. You're just in the Midwest. Like you pretend to be small market because hoorah, we're in the Midwest. No, you guys are a fat ass market with money. You just don't want to spend it. Like your owners are just greedy.
Mine?
Like yeah, they're not spending.
Buddy, we have never been spenders. We really never had like the money.
When you had Lance Berkman, Matt Holliday,
We
you went and got Carlos Beltran. You had to retain Yadier Molina. You had to retain Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright. You can't tell me you weren't a spender there. You had some guys that came up like Furcal and Skip Schumacher, but you had to pay Schumacher. David Freese, a guy that was your rookie, but you paid the big boys to carry you there. Pujols, you had to pay at one point to keep him.
Paul Goldschmidt signed, what was it, a 5-year, $150 million deal or whatever?
Yeah, you signed
And
him and Arenado.
yeah, Goldschmidt was no Arenado was still on the Rockies contract. We were not paying Rockies money. Rockies were paying half that contract.
Which is cheap.
Paul Goldschmidt's the largest contract we ever gave to a Cardinal.
I mean, granted, every year
Technically,
never
yes.
exceeds.
But the Cardinals baseball has always been built on two key guys, two or three key players, and somewhat of homegrown talent. Obviously, Wainwright wasn't homegrown because he came up. We got him via the Atlanta Braves, but like technically, he's been a Cardinal his like entire life, basically. Molina,
I call him homegrown. Yeah.
yeah, Molina was homegrown. Pujols was homegrown, and then we supplement with those. Like we bring in a key guy. Like we brought in Matt Holliday. We got Berkman, like in the twilight of his career, but like he was so damn efficient at the twilight of his career. You got Carlos Beltran, who was like kind of in this weird middle phase of like he wasn't ready for he was coming off the big dollars and like came to us for a little bit. But like it also was supplemented with like Rafael Furcal and David Freese and John Jay and you got Jason Mott. You got a lot of lower tier guys too, but like we do spend decent, but like we're not over here being like I think Atlanta spends way more money than us in terms of just being more aggressive in the free agency market. But Atlanta also respects the crap out of their homegrown talent a little too much at times as well with the way their GM operates. But yeah. Also, KMOX, the Cardinals baseball radio, is the largest in the country and can be heard across 44 states, Canada, and Mexico. Covers a large range. That's why you see so many Cardinals fans in Iowa and like Indiana even, because like we just cover such a large range with the KMOX radio. But small markets,
Yeah.
man, they're crushing it. They're crushing it. I love what the Reds have done in terms of like they brought up Sal Stewart, rookie of the year, front runner right now. He's crushing it. The pitching has been kind of their underlying calling card a little bit because not only are they having the hitting back up the pitching, but like Rhett Lauder has come on strong. Like I love that.
He's showing out.
I loved his game in Wake Forest. He has a 3.10 ERA, has the most innings pitched. He has 3 wins. Andrew Abbott was solid, but Chase Burns, another Wake Forest product, 2.42 ERA cooking right now for them, and like they're just doing a great job. And Pagan has 6 saves on the year as well, so really been really impressed with the Reds. And yeah, right now small market baseball is crushing a lot of these big markets at the moment.
Yeah, no, the Reds have the talent. I mean, you knew the pitching was going to be there. I mean, you still have Ellie De La Cruz over there at shortstop. You knew what he was going to bring. You bring back Eugenio Suarez. You kind of knew the offense was going to be there, and you just hoped that the young guys figured it out early. And I love that they brought up Rhett Lauder, and they allow him to kind of have these growing pains, but he just hasn't had them yet. He's just figuring it out and just doing it on the fly, especially with Hunter Green being out until probably the All-Star break. He's got what, 3 months with
Yeah,
the all the
Labrum,
loose bodies in his arm.
not Labrum. You were doing this, and I was like, oh, he
Oh, I
said,
was pointing at my elbow.
yeah,
No, not labrum, but I'm not as surprised the Reds are doing good. I think the surprise in that it is the Pirates.
yeah, agreed.
The Pirates being where they're at right now is a surprise. And I said it not jokingly, but I said it because I wanted to believe it. And it's a good take that the Pirates are gonna win the Central, and like I want it to happen because it hasn't happened in so long. I think the last time they really did anything, I mean, we interviewed Jack Wilson. He was on the last time that the Pirates were good. That was like his son is in the big second year now. It's so for the Pirates, I hope they keep it together. I think the pitching staff and the bullpen is going to be the biggest issue. The fact that they're winning without Marcelo Zuna doing his thing, like they are winning despite his poor performance hitting wise. And
I
I
mean,
think
these numbers have been. Oh, Ryan O'Hearn's hitting 329.
yeah, and he was the big off-season or mid-season acquisition that everyone was wanting. So the fact that you got him going to free agency and everyone was just like, nah. I was like, what are we doing? I didn't we want him just 3 months ago? What has changed? What did I miss? And the Pirates are like, we'll take you for pennies on the dollar. And I was like, that's the smartest move I think they've made.
O'Neal Cruz is hitting the ball really well. He's got a 292. Fielding is a lot to be desired. um, he's got
He's a
26 hits. He's got 26 hits on the year right now. Lau's got 7 homers, 267. Reynolds 266.
yeah.
Right, Connor Griffin's at a 218. He'll start to get going as he sees more pitches and more at bats. Right,
Yeah,
like
in the minor leagues, you just don't see the elite fastball comboed with like an elite slider or a very sharp breaking ball. Like you just don't you see one or the other in AAA unless somebody's on rehab, and in that case, you're not seeing them at 100%. You're seeing them at like maybe 80 to 90% ramping up for the bigs. So the fact that he just hasn't had that experience yet, he'll grow to time, the 99 with a little bit of sink or the 97 with more run on it. He'll get a hold of it. It's just
you
seeing
know,
it and getting it. Like, you can only simulate that in the cage
in the
so
in
much.
the and the starting pitching is giving you what you're looking for right now between it looks like between their 5 starters of Chandler, Ladinsky, Skeens, Ashcraft, and Keller, like 3 of them have a sub 3 ERA. 2 of them have a sub 2.5. Skeens is bringing the ERA back down because he got shellacked in the first game of the year and didn't get out of the first. So his ERA was sky high.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd think a center fielder for that.
yeah. But like Skeens is already back down to a 327, and like Ashcraft has a 238. He's the best pitcher on the team right now. He's given up no home runs. He's got 27 Ks. Like that's a guy you got to keep your eye on, and he's giving the Pirates some really big innings. And not to mention, they have a sneaky good bullpen of Soto and Santana. If you go to the latter parts of the ending, the latter parts of the game, they can go to Soto and they can go to Santana. It's just which one do you want? Right now, it seems like they're leaning on Santana a bit more. But like they bring in Soto as well to get them over the hump to the Santana pitch.
Yeah, and I think Soto he's so streaky. Like he's lefty, but he's a thrower. He's not a pitcher. Whereas Santana is more of a pitcher. I can command the corners a little bit better, but he's also streaky. He's just more consistent than Soto. So I think they're both on right now, which is why you're seeing exactly what we're seeing. But I mean, as soon as one of them goes off, I'm interested to see how they recover. I like that they They did go out and get Mike Clevenger to be a guy that eats up innings. And I'm excited for when Jared Jones comes back, because what are you going to do with the rotation? Do you put him in the bullpen and let him work his way up bullpen style, or are you going to leave him in AAA for a bit and get him there? But that's a talented arm that you can't let him sit in AAA. He is big league guy. Like, he's big league ready. He's been big league ready, and he's shown he's good in the bigs. I'm excited to see him come back.
Couldn't agree more. Closing thought? What other topics we got here?
Worst contract in baseball. We saw on ESPN earlier in the week that they have decided that the number 2 worst contract in baseball is, that was a horrible drum roll, Chris Davis and the Baltimore Orioles. That deal is pretty bad.
Funny
but
enough,
I feel like it's not
who was
top
number
2
one?
worthy. Number 1 was Barry Zito going to the San Francisco Giants. Zito helped them win 2 World Series.
Yeah,
He wasn't like the main part of it, but I mean, I don't think anyone can beat Rendon.
Dude, Rendon's contract and what they got out of that, awful. Talk about an absolute bag stealer. Like, we all credit Kirk Cousins' agent for getting him all the guaranteed money in the world. How about Anthony Rendon's agent taking a guy who really,
hates baseball.
He was producing well, right? He was underappreciated between 2014 2019. He produced a 28 WAR with 31% better than the average hitter overall. And then he won a World Series, went to the Angels, and he sucked. SUCKS sucks.
He played less games than Ted Williams did when he was in the middle of World War II. Like, that is a fact. Ted Williams played more Major League games in the middle of World War II than Anthony Rendon did for his entirety as a Los Angeles Angel.
And listen, I'm going to read you some numbers here. I'm going to read you some numbers from Rendon up until he became an Angel, right? Games played, 98, 153, 80, 156, 147, 136, 144, 146. Batting average, 265, 287, 264, 270, 301, 308, 319, which is his all-star year. Wasn't ever really a home run guy, 721, 520, 25, 24, 34. The RBIs, 35, 83, 25, 85, 192, 126. So the numbers there. Then he became an Angel. Games played, 52, 58, 47, 43, 57. After having multiple 140 plus seasons. Batting average, not terrible. 86, 240, 229, 236, 218. The home run numbers, 9, 6, 5, 2, and 0. RBIs were 31, 34, 24, 22, 14. And yeah, this boy was bunsy. Buns. So bad. And I just hard-pressed to not look at that and be like, what? I know the injuries is one thing, but like, you couldn't ever figure it back out, dude. Rendon, to me, is one of the worst contracts in all of baseball. I think you can argue Albert Pujols for the Angels was a terrible contract because they didn't get anything of what they, like, you grabbed Pujols to try and be contenders, and instead you made the playoffs once with Pujols, I think. So, and Pujols' numbers were never, like, that great. Like, once he left for LA, his numbers were never the same since he went to LA. Like, he was a two-time All-Star, one-time All-Star with the Angels, but like his Cardinals numbers were just outrageous versus like his Angels numbers. Like, he never hit above 300 with the Angels. He never had he had a 40 home run season with the Angels in 2015, but like never came close to that ever again, really. And then, yeah, like, the RBIs were fine. He was still in the hundreds, batting them in, but one year he had a -2 WAR for the Angels. So, yeah, he had 23 home runs that year. Pujols is up there, given what the Cardinals were. 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger, Gold Glover, 40-plus home runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 times for the Cardinals. Never hit below 30 home runs as a Cardinal. His MVP year, he got second this year in MVP with 212 hits in 2003. Crazy. 359 batting average. Who won MVP in 2003? Hold on, we gotta figure out who this was. No wonder it's freaking Barry Bonds, all roided up, doing drugs, cheating the game of baseball. But yeah, Rendon's pretty bad. Rendon, Pujols was pretty bad in terms of the production that you got. Is there a pitching one that's like significant? Could you talk about Strasburg? But he won a World Series though.
I didn't feel like Steven Strasburg is bad because he wanted to come back but was medically incapable of doing so.
Yeah.
I think a really bad one when I think of like Red Sox was John Lackey before
Mm.
2013. He was so bad. He was always injured. Him and Carl Crawford, I was so like, paid all that money for them and they never produced. We got rid of Carl and Lackey put it together kind of in 13 and we won a World Series. He turned it on in October when we needed him the most, but I always felt like those were bad. Pitching wise, anytime you sign a pitcher longer than 6 years, I think the deal's bad. I just wouldn't do it unless it's a prospect. Like I'd sign Paul Skeens right now to 10 years. I'll take him for life. Because by the time he hits what 31, 34, hit free agency. I don't care. Like I've got 10 years of Paul Skeens.
Mm. This one,
Um,
this one's good here. Addison Bumgarner to the Diamondbacks, 5 years, 85 million.
that was yeah. I remember that one.
Mad Bum, he was a four-time All-Star postseason legend, finished top 5 in the Cy Young 4 times, unstoppable in the playoffs, but he was entering his 30s, had a couple injuries, and then velocity was down. The Giants offered him 4 years, 70 million, but the Diamondbacks topped their offer, and then in 9 starts in 2020, in the shortened season, went 1-4 with a 648. Went very bad. He even threw a 7-inning no-hitter. Then later that year in 2021, went 7-12, 4.67 ERA. In 2022, he lost 15 games with the worst strikeout ratio of his career, and then was released in 2023 when he had a 10.26 ERA. That was pretty bad. Someone has on here Alex Rodriguez, New York Yankees, 10 years, 275 as a bad contract.
I thought that too. He was overpaid for sure, and he didn't live up to that contract money wise.
Didn't he win a World Series, though?
In 2009, you won a World Series, yes, but was it because
I
of
think if you
A-Rod?
win, I think if you win a World Series, it's not a bad contract. That's what you paid him to do.
That's fair.
Obviously,
Yeah, and
obviously, you got hit with the PEDs, which I think is probably half the argument here. Is like,
multiple times.
yeah,
And he was
we got
injured
Josh
towards the
Hamilton
end
to
of
the
it.
Angels, Pablo Sandoval, 5 years, 9.
That's who I was thinking of was a bad contract. I was thinking of a Red Sox, and I was so close. Fucking Panda was so bad for the Red Sox. Like I think we cut him. He was fat. He never came in healthy. He was never skinny. Like he was fat and out of shape every year. Oh, he made me so mad.
Jacoby Ellsbury, Yankees.
Yeah, right after that,
That's a name. You want to talk about a guy
mad.
that I forgot about? Jacoby Ellsbury is a guy I forgot about. That boy was nice as a Red Sox. That boy was
Like 1 or
nice.
2 years where he was really good, wanted a lot of money, and we said no. And he went to the Yankees and they paid him, and he was never the same. I feel like Jacoby's on Nesson every once in a while, and he always comes back when it comes to the 2007 team. I think he just is always around for ceremonies. So like I see him on Nesson all the time, so I like never forget about him.
This
But
one has Chris Bryant to the Rockies was pretty bad. But like Chris Bryant was like,
injury, like that's a caveat.
yeah, but like that's the Strasburg case too. That's why with Strasburg I don't view it as like a bad contract because he won a World Series. You paid him for what he was worth, and then again he just like couldn't come back because he couldn't get medically cleared. Are we in agreement that it's Rendon is the worst contract in baseball? Chris Davis is up there. That's a top 5 contract.
I think it's Rendon because at least Chris Davis played more games than Ted Williams did during World War II.
True. But what's this one? This one is who is worth the money. They had Barry Bonds to the Giants. Well, no shit, buddy. He used drugs. The Barry Bonds, granted, the years before he started using PEDs, he was still pretty good. But like then he used PEDs and used drugs to cheat. Greg Maddux, 5 years, 28 mil. Had a 163 ERA plus, won 3 Cy Youngs. David Ortiz, ironically, initially signed him to a 1-year deal and then became a legend. Larry Walker for the Rockies. Randy Johnson, D-backs. These are more specific to like the terms of which they signed and had their best years. So obviously there's that. Worst contracts. Oh yeah, let's see here. Chris Bryant was pretty bad, 8,330. Dang. That was bad. Jason Hayward, 8 years, 184. That's pretty bad. Pujols, Rendon, Jordan Zimmerman. Didn't even know he was a Detroit Tiger, I'm going to be honest with you. Patrick Corbin, 6 years, 140. Bro was bad. Chris Davis, and then as they have Barry Zito as the worst. Zito put up a 30.6 B WAR in his 8th season for the A's, earning him a huge payday. He's pitched all 7 seasons for San Francisco, going 63 of 80 with an ERA plus of 87. Nah, dude, it's Chris Davis. His B WAR was minus 2.8, negative 2.8, brother. Yeah, this doesn't. The numbers don't make sense if you're going off B WAR. But
Yeah, that's definitely an older head that's like, remember this one? It's like, no.
that was it's technically Bobby Bonilla's contract bad because you got to pay him $1 million randomly every July 1st for 35 plus years, or is that just smart business?
Contract, or is that like good
Or is
business?
that just smart business?
He's dirt cheap, and every year, like the dollar loses its value.
Do you
So
think?
that
Do you think?
million is less and less every year?
Do you think Shohei is going to be like the new Bobby Bonilla with the deferment payments when we're like 45 years old and it's like the Dodgers have to pay Shohei $20 million this year because of the deferments?
They've already made their money back on Shohei and then some.
Yeah.
Like they do not care.
They
Everything
tapped
is
in,
free.
they signed the 2 biggest Japanese players in MLB. Scratch that. Second and third biggest Japanese players in MLB history. I'm not going to put them in front of Ichiro quite yet, but like, you know what I mean? Like you have Yamamoto and Ohtani. You dominate Japan, and Japan will just give you all their yen, bro. So that's what's happening right now. We got questions. We want questions. We holding off this week. What's happening here? I can't hear you.
I hit mute because I thought I was muted. No, I have hammered questions. I always have questions for you. I try and make them as friendly as possible but this week I'm not. So, are you ready for them?
Let's ride.
All right, hammered questions. You know the deal. If you hesitate, you got to drink. You finished your beer.
That's how I get out of it.
That's crazy. All right. I wouldn't say you'll get out of it, but we'll start with number 1, first inning. Who are the 4 players since the year 2000 to homer on their 40th birthday?
No clue. If birthday, players homering. Pujols
Think about
on their 40th birthday or past 40?
On their 40th birthday, like the day of their birth, they turned 40, blew out the candles, hit a dinger.
Pujols?
No.
Molina?
None
Then
of
I
them
got
are Cardinals.
Can I get teams of who they? Can I get teams of who they are?
Beltran is not one of them. No Cardinals.
No, Beltre. Adrian Beltre.
No, not Beltre. But one was a former Ranger. You actually just talked about him. He likes a needle in his butt.
Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez is one of them. He did it in 2015. The most recent one is probably the most famous Canadian baseball player ever.
I can't name you a single Canadian baseball player.
Freddie Freeman, and then this guy. He's a Cincinnati Red legend, Joey Votto.
Yeah.
The next 2 you've played with on MLB The Show, one was a Twin and a White Sox, and the other one is one of the greatest switch hitters of all time.
Ichiro? Ichiro not a switch hitter? I thought he was. One of the greatest switch hitters of all time. No clue. Just give me the answers.
He was a Brave as well.
Yeah, I don't know any of them.
Chipper Jones and Jim Thome.
Yeah.
Julio
Jim
Rodriguez.
Thome's card last year was nice. That was a nice card.
Julio Rodriguez is the 4th player in his age 22 season or younger to have a 30-30 season. Who is the next youngest, or who is the youngest?
Youngest to have a 30-30 season?
Yep, he is actively playing.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about him earlier in the show. And
Bobby
he did
Witt?
it
No. Corbin Carroll.
2012.
2012?
2012.
2012
20
rookie.
years old.
20 years old. We talked about him in the show. Speedster. Man.
He's stocky.
Stocky, and he had A 30
He's
30 year?
fucking big as shit.
Fucking Cano?
Not Cano. He's bigger than Cano. Pause. Whoa.
Resume.
Huge Eagles fan.
This is bad. This is real
He
bad.
just homered 5 times this week.
Mike Trout? Really?
It is Mike Trout. Yep.
Wow.
Mike Trout.
I forget Mike Trout was a big steal guy back in the day.
He still swipes occasional bags, but he used to. That was definitely more of his MO. This one's just always funny. What player threw a no hitter while high on LSD?
Oh my god. I know the story too. It's the Padres pitcher, right?
I believe so, yes.
It's either the Padres or the Athletics pitcher. And they face somebody. I don't know the name of the pitcher, but
It is Doc Ellis.
yes, I was gonna say I remember the story. Like he like went out and was like whatever, partied all night because he thought he had an off day. Showed up to the ballpark high as a kite, and they were like, "You're on the mound today," and he's like, "Excuse me," and he just went out and shoved.
He was like, whatever color is talking to me, whatever ball, whatever the ball wants, that's what we're gonna throw.
Crazy.
This one's just cool. I don't expect you to get it right because neither would have I. Who is the youngest player to debut in the MLB? You don't have to give me the name, but I'll give you 3 guesses of the age.
Say that again. So the youngest player to debut in the MLB.
Yeah, who is the youngest player to debut in the MLB? How
Current?
old was he?
Current?
No, he's not current. He's old as fuck.
Old as fuck. How
Like,
old was he? I'm going to say he was 17 when he debuted.
No,
Older, younger?
you're gonna have to guess. You get
Okay,
3
so
guesses.
I'm going to go 18 then.
No,
Okay.
colder.
I got to see.
Bless you.
Connor Griffin's 19.
Yeah.
So then he's the youngest is 19, but then it's like 19.2
No. No.
the other way? 16?
No.
What was this like what?
It's actually younger. It is 15.
Who debuted in the MLB at 15?
Joe Nuxhall was 15 years old when he. Yeah, I knew you weren't gonna get the name because neither would I. But he was 15 years old in the MLB. Like that's
Was it
sick.
1954?
Yeah, some shit like that. 1920, whatever. Who is the only pitcher to give up a home run to all 3 Alou brothers?
What was the last name?
Moises Alou. Alou.
The only pitch is he current, retired?
He's retired. He is in MLB The Show. He's never been a
Currently?
live series card. Oldest, he's an older guy. You might actually know him better for his hotels. Is it?
Gaylord Perry?
It is Gaylord Perry. Yeah,
I don't know if those are his hotels, but that helped.
I think it is his hotels actually. I think that's like that's his chain. What baseball team's stadium is on an island?
Ooh, on an island.
It's on an island.
Is it the Mets? They're on Long Island.
It is the
right?
Mets. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the Mets. Yeah.
The little, yeah.
Nope, that question stumped all the. I remember that one. I saw it on Wharton's baseball page. That one stumped all the guys, and I was like, I feel like it's the Mets. Like,
Yeah, they're in Queens.
yeah,
Queens is in Long Island.
the Mets fan was like, the Mets, duh, and everyone else was like, I have no idea.
I think you're
Half of them
so.
were like, LA, are they on an island? And I was like, kinda. They're definitely in their own world, but island, not really. Who leads the MLB in triples currently for 2026?
Be triples.
We just talked about him, and he will actually not be playing because he is on the IL.
Carroll? Corbin Carroll?
It is Corbin Carroll with 3. We are down to the final 2. What is your go-to skin on Fortnite?
As of right now, it is Emma Frost, but typically it is Zoe from K-pop Demon Hunters. Those are the 2. Or the White Power Ranger, Dino Thunder.
The last one is, what is your secret shame song?
Secret shame song.
Yeah.
Domino by Jessie J. I love that song. Most people hate it, but I love that song.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Yeah, that should have been a secret. It's no. That's
Sit in the twilight. Take me down because I'm a domino. Yeah, no, that song's a banger.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
all 9 for our hammered questions. Final thoughts, Jacob. The floor is yours.
Always going to insert some Cardinals talk in here. Riley O'Brien's having an incredible season as the closer right now. He has 6 saves on the year. He's doing some great stuff. We swept the Astros, and this Cardinals team is way better than I expected right now. Obviously, We'll see how it goes when we're in June and July, but as of right now, can't complain. Hunter, floor is yours.
Yeah, Red Sox won today, so that makes me happy. Patriots Day, marathon runners. Wish everyone safety. I definitely can't do that, so it's insane that people run marathons. Went to a Dunedin Blue Jays game. Wow, this past weekend, got to see my buddy that pitches for the Philadelphia Threshers. And fun fact, he is the one that gave up JoJo Parker's first professional home run. So while everyone saw JoJo hit the ball, I went, "That's my buddy that's pitching." So, fun fact. I didn't bring that up while he was in the bullpen, but that's my final thoughts.
And with that, we are hammered in homers. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Presented by Florida Avenue Brewing. He has been hammered. I have been homers. Kill the beer.
Was not prepared for that.
What a chump. We'll see you on the next one.
Where's your beer? Yeah, cheers
Killed.
me, Jacob.
Killed. Killed.
Go get another
Killed.
one. One
No.
beer. Amateur. No.
Killed.
Behind the scenes, I've got 2 ready to go.
You're not even finishing the first one in the hour and a half that we record.
We have not hit an hour and a half. Don't you lie to these people.
Hour
We're also
26.
we're gonna edit this, and it's gonna be even shorter.
Whatever. He's been hammered. I've been homers. Catch you on the next one.